Hi guys, so I'm going to be doing a new series where I build this submarine, and I'm going to be doing it from the very start. I have a video that demonstrates the theory behind the constant diesel submarine, but in application it can be a lot trickier. So I thought I would be doing a video about that. So we're making a mini sub rather than the full size thing, so the sub I'm building here will not be very efficient, and it probably won't dive for very long. It probably needs to be about a little bit longer than that, because these little subs still take a ton of room to fit all the necessary components. I'm doing a medium engine for this one. Again, this is probably a heavily underscaled build. Diesel subs work best with a one large engine and a much bigger build, but for the sake of time and this build series, I'm going to be doing a much smaller build. So let's get started on this whole design. So I'm going to go rounded, pretty round. So yeah, I'm going to be recording 100% of the entire build process, because though there are a lot of tedious things, there's also a lot of things I'm not even aware of also in this. And so there still could be some factors that I'm not prepared to deal with. But hopefully we get at least most of them. Because I have had a few failed subs in the past. Actually just one. And it was just a huge diesel submarine. Might have been a bit too ambitious, honestly. Yeah, because I think that's really what it was. It was just too big to be allowed. It was, the pressures weren't balanced because of its size. And so it couldn't overcome that, and so I just had to give up on the build. I'm doing a spherical hull shape right now. It's not a perfect spherical. It's actually a bit shallow, but yeah. I'm just kind of fiddling with it until I get it about where I want it. You know, I really need a version of this game or something where I can have both symmetries on. Submarine hull building would be a lot easier if I can have vertical and whatever the other one is, vertical and horizontal symmetry on simultaneously. It would save me a lot of time. I wish the devs would add that. Because, you know, it's like every here and there I want all the different points of this. And one second, I'm going to unplug the mic. Sorry. Oh. Alright, back to this. So now I'm going to be doing a 4 block. And then once I'm done with this side, I'm just going to copy and paste it over to the other side. Notice how the shape isn't proper, it's a diamond. diamond submarine at the moment. Might actually be a bit of a problem, but I'd rather ignore it. It's still not. Actually, it might be pretty bad, but I could square it off inside the submarine. Again, this is just a tutorial, so it doesn't need to look that great. It just gotta function. Because we'll actually be centering the cabin in the middle, and so it's alright if we have a unsatisfactory shape, because we're gonna have a lot of components that go into this. So, I mean, yeah, we'll have tanks along the walls and things. And that'll actually balance things out a little more. I don't know. This angle's good. The slope here, it's not right. Let me fiddle around with this for a minute. I guess it's gonna have to be as it is. Ooh, you know what I can do? I can start here and move just certain parts of it out further. So I can change the dimensions of it as it moves forward, like it'll inflate. So we add these, and then we go in with this new layer. See, now it's ballooning out, but only in certain areas, so that I can get that rounder shape that I need to actually build properly in. Alright, so now do that. A second, I'm just something real quick. Okay, So now we're gonna extrude this. Oh, shit. Alright. Now I'm just gonna add in some of these wedges. Now you notice these aren't lining up, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off this end here and then copy and paste what we've got here in the core. Alright. Let's do this. Uh-oh. And now we're going to do another level of bringing this out again. This time it's going to be 2x1. And again, I'm pretty much improvising with this whole build. So I'm not sure where this is going or how this is going to look. Or if it's even going to look good at all. But I've got a little bit of hope. This looks a little bit promising. But if it doesn't look good, I would normally scrap it, but because I'm doing a video on it, I'm not going to scrap it. So, regardless of how this turns out, I'm going to stick with it, okay? Nice thing about this design is it's going to give us a lot of flat surfaces on the side for ports and lights. Still not enough room, though, for a good hatch, so we'll need a solid con tower, because we don't actually have a flat deck. Wait, is this already brought up one? No, it hasn't. Okay, so now we're going to go out by 4. It's a slow, monotonous process, but it's kind of worth it if you can get some semblance of a detailed design in. This is sure something, though. It's not, by any means, a standard design. It's very bit abstract, but I think it'll meet our needs pretty well. The diesel submarine, you really can't build a small one, because if you scale it down, you don't ever have enough room to store the air you need. But if you go too big, the pressures in the pipes and all the complexity will get to you and you won't be able to finish it. So this is about how much room you need. Of course, the rig in the previous video was a very basic version of this. In this video, I'm going to be covering the full thing. Not this video, but this series of videos. It'll be every single thing that goes into it. And might even get into some things I'm not so sure about if they arise. So you have this kind of like this wing here on the side, this panel. It's like lifting up on the back there, and then it comes forward. It's looking really good. So let's see, this would be our shape. This is not bad. I actually kind of like it. I don't know how it'll handle, but it's gonna give us the room we need, and it's unique looking. Yeah. Let me do the same on the bottom. So, I don't know if there's any other small YouTubers that even would watch these videos other than like Jesus Jim or something. But I've been getting a lot of strange comments recently. They're like from oh, the name keeps switching, but it's like that Logan thing, harassing my channel constantly. Now I haven't replied to one since a while ago when I had that scare, and I think I'm perfectly fine and safe. But it's definitely out there. It stopped for a while, and then the name changed, the channel name changed, and he's back at it again. So, you know, anyone else, be warned. It's out there. So we're getting this whole thing in the selection grid, because I'm going to be taking the entire unit about to there. Making sure I'm getting all of it. Copying it, shifting it this way, rotating it, overlap, making sure I'm overlapping the kind of strange areas, pasting. So now we've got our basic submarine hull. That didn't actually take too long, and if you notice here, where these two kind of come up like this, we've got a bit of a flat surface. So what I'm probably going to do, on the top part, I'm going to remove this angle here, and I'm going to bring it all up one on the top, so we can have a flat deck. What is that angle? Is that just a 1 by 1? Yeah, it is. I really wanted to just... Darn, I really just wanted to, like, go wedges, you know. I might just do that, regardless of this thing here. Can I do? Like... Oh, dang. So what I want to do is do that, and then that. That might work. Okay. Then we'll do... I'm gonna clean up this thing, because it's always good to clean things up the moment you see them, and not just say I'll get to that later in the final details, because you might get to the final details and forget about it and not see it. Because after you build on something for a while, the little mistakes that you leave, it's hard to see them after a while. You don't even know they're there, because you keep seeing them, and you're like, oh, everything must be good because I haven't fixed it yet. Your brain will just kind of purposefully not see it. That's why, even though it takes that extra bit of time and gets me a little bit off topic every time I go back and fix something, it's always good to do it first, you know? This will be a really interesting design. I'm just kind of freehanding this. I'm going off of no basic, like no picture, no idea, no time period, no country. Just building a submarine hull. And it's looking really neat. Kind of like it. Gives me all the fundamental things I need to build a submarine. Now, due to the size increase, we will be going large engine, for sure. We've got enough room in this hull. I was going to go smaller, but I don't know. This looks better. to build up the con tower. Now, when I build a submarine, some submarines use the ballasts a lot more than I do. What I do is I make it neutrally buoyant to begin with, and I do install a few small ballasts just in case you needed them for some reason. For a vertical dive in a shallow area, you would want ballasts on a neutrally buoyant submarine. Most of the time, though, you don't need it. You know, something I didn't do in my last submarine that I'm going to do in this one because I need to, is we need a door dock properly built in. I'm just using this to duplicate the con tower. If you can, try to use the selection grid as much as you can in your builds, because it makes things faster and easier, and I find it makes it more precise. Nope, I don't think I got it all. Crap. It's whatever, though. I'll just patch that up and then merge it. Oh. As I say that, and then I mess up the selection grid work. Whatever now, it's all done there. So then, that'll be the con tower. It's a bit big, but again, matches design rather well. This is a really interesting submarine. So let's go and try to fit in that door dock now. It should fit it right around here. Yeah, we got more than enough room. So the hatch I want it to open, I think this way. Yeah, like that. Some people even build bigger con towers, but usually only on larger submarines than this. Anything bigger than this probably should be a jet or a diesel electric, because I don't know, it just might suit it better. Setting up some infrastructure and cleaning out some of this framework inside here that we don't need. Having this shell in here though does help a lot during the build. That's why it's here. So even in a submarine, I mean this is a thing for boats mostly, but even in the submarine, a really critical thing is keeping your center of mass towards the bottom, because especially submarines being neutrally buoyant in the water have a high tendency to flip and roll around if they're not stabilized, and they're usually pretty stabilized, you know, when you got the control surfaces and they're moving along, you know. But then when you're not moving, when you stop moving, you want the submarine to sort of balance itself out, because if you don't have it right when you build it, it'll be wrong when you use it. Alright, so this is pretty much the hull. I'm going to go ahead and stop here because of time, and it's very late for me right now, and I'm probably going to go see if Bardo's on. But yeah, this is our basic submarine hull. Well, in the next video, we'll be setting up the infrastructure and the general frames within it that need to hold everything and laying out where our tanks and everything will go. So I'll see you then. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing. And I would like to say, I hope to produce better and maybe more like quality content in the future. I know my stuff's pretty shit right now, but we're getting there.